Okay, how was that? Let's see. Can you hear me? Okay, I can hear you
That was
now.
weird.
Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I don't know. I just had to plug in my
That
headphones. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, my man?
Doing well. Thank you. Where are you coming from?
Well, I just wanted to say thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm really, really excited. So
Yeah, no problem.
I'm just finding myself sitting here right here talking to you and going, man, this time a year ago, there would have been no way I would have made it in front of you today. At least that's how I thought.
You know,
And so I'm happy to be.
listen, I feel the same way. Where are you coming from?
I'm from Chicago, so I grew up in the south side of Chicago, but I'm in Phoenix, Arizona right now.
Nice.
Downtown.
Nice. Okay, cool. So you've been on Pitch Investors
Weather's
Live
better.
before, right?
Huh?
You've been on Pitch Investors Live before, right?
Yeah, if it's my understanding, you're Mr. Kevin's son?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yeah. During the pitchathon a few months ago, was my first encounter with your dad. So
Oh, cool.
we
That was fun.
shared
That
our
was fun, wasn't it?
Midwestern roots.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was very fun. It got to a point to where we kind of forgot that we were doing a pitch because we kind of connected from being from the Midwest. And then the crazy part is my connection got lost, but he was still kind enough to still give advice, and he had some other direction that he wanted me to go with the business. And so it's ironic that I'm talking to you to let you know, hey, the advice that he gave me, I actually took it. And so I'm kind of happy about that too.
Cool. That's awesome. So I'd love to hear what you got going on then. Let's hear it.
I'm not sure if you read my short profile bio, but my name's Aaron Dowdell, and I own Aaron's Bakeroom for Dessert. So I specialize in Midwestern pound cakes. I do cheesecakes and I also do cookie bars.
Okay. Cool.
And so I've been in retail, my goodness, for about 25 years. And then just during that journey, just going from, being young and always wanting to learn about how businesses run and just always being curious. I also have like an entrepreneurial spirit. Even in school, I would sell candy bars to my peers. And I think when I was 12, my 8th grade year before I graduated, I had a paper route because I always wanted to be doing something to contribute to my family. My mom was working like a couple of jobs, so I wanted to do something to make sure that her stresses were de-escalated. So I realized that I wanted to find something kind of creative, but also something that would honor her because her and I bonded over baking a lot. So we'd be in the kitchen, earth, wind, and fire, dancing it, throwing flour at each other, and just getting a feel for how we would de-escalate not just her stress, but our family stress, because it's tough growing up in the inner city. So just trying to figure out a way to do that. And that's where my first joy for, baking started with her, and just being around her and seeing how her mood would change when we be in the kitchen bonding and going over that. So as I started getting older and trying out new things, I was a artsy kid, and so I tried to use art. But as I got older, I would have cookouts. And during those cookouts, I would always have dessert, and that would be the thing. I think when I made my first carrot cake when I was like 6. And from there, it just kind of took off. And then academically, just wanted to, just excel. So I love being in the box with curriculum, but also like doing extracurricular stuff too. So I would get my work done early so I could do something creative. So there's always something creative. As I got older, cookouts in college, keeping it going, doing more baking. And then it started to become like, okay, as I'm getting older, like, what do I want to do? And so as I got into different, many careers and jobs, I work with kids a lot. But when I moved out here, not knowing nobody, one of the things that I got into the multi-level housing business. And that kind of opened up a whole new world because I started part-time, making next to nothing. And then in a few years, made it into a manager position. And during that time, I started to see that, I can do something with something creative. So I would bake for my residents. I would bake at corporate meetings. I would bake all the time because everybody's so stressed out. I saw that baking would de-escalate that stress. So then what kind of really hit home with the idea was before I got promoted, I saw there's kind of a customer service art form lacking as the year started going on. And I started out something that I excelled in. And I love dealing with people. I love being a people person. And I love making people laugh and smile and everything. So that kind of sparked. And I remember at my manager's desk, I went, you know what, if I ever started my own business, I'm gonna make sure I take care of people and serve them right and treat them well and do it from the heart. And I started realizing that that's where the itch for the baking business, came from.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at your website right now as you're talking.
Okay.
Cool.
So don't start drooling. Your dad was drooling last time, so don't drool.
I like it. Looks good. It looks good. I have a couple comments, but keep going now.
Okay. And then as far as the vision was concerned, I had a couple ideas when I first, signed the paperwork to start the business. But one idea was it would be kind of cool to have like a house kind of a homey kind of setting, because I want the mood and the tone to be right. I didn't want it to just be a box that had baked goods in it, but I wanted it to be like a place where people felt like they could come to like de-escalate stress. It felt like a home. And I guess the reason why I wanted it like that, because being in the apartment industry, that's what I was doing. I was finding a roof over people's heads. And so one of the consistent things, especially in my position here now, I'm working at a property complex in downtown Phoenix. One of the things that separates from the other competition, even though they got high rises going up and everything, is the fact that they feel like it's at home. Like when they get done with studying, when they get done with work and they come here, they feel like they're at home. They feel like they can come in the office and sit down and how was your day and how was work or how was school? They feel that kind of connection with our property. And that's the kind of, that's exactly the way I want with my bakery business to be the exact same way. That what differentiates me is that the fact that they feel like I'm not just their baker or I'm not like the owner, but they feel like connected to the fact that I care about how they're doing, not just, hey, buy all my cakes, but hey, how are you doing? Like, is your experience with this business, helping with your day or in your day, or is it helping when you have a family gathering, or if it's some kind of special occasion? Did my product help people when they had it? There's this thing that I see at the market where people would try samples of my work and they'll go like something just hit them.
Right.
And I can't, and that is to where you see total strangers now. I mean, they're not strangers to me because I feel like we're all connected, but you see total strangers and we're all bonded by the fact that we love our sweets. But it has to be good though. That's the main thing. It has to taste good. So I know you said my cakes look good, but my heart's joy is the fact that this is like over 20 some years of dabbling in recipes and making sure it's the right mix, right blend, so that you're not biting on a big old, piece of sugar, or you're not just saying, ooh, the frosting is good, but the cake tastes like, bland. I want people to have a full experience from start to finish. So at the kind of owner of bakery, it has to come from inside out. Right. So it starts there and then you finish on the outside. So the presentation, is cool, but I believe that the true art form is once they, indulge in it, and it's almost like when you wine tasting, you start swishing around, and you want to taste every little ounce of it, and then you enjoy that experience. And I love the smiles that people have on their faces, whether they at the market yesterday where I was at, buy samples, or if they just or buy slices, or if they buy a sample or have a sample, they're smiling. And I've had people walk past my table and they'll look and just kind of cringe and go, I can't do it. Like, I understand. But when you decide to do it, I'll be here. I'm not going nowhere.
Right. So how did you learn how to bake? Well, I mean, I know you said you made your first carrot cake at 6. Was it just a natural thing for you?
Yeah, it's natural. When you grow up with a dad who was, he's originally from Georgia, and a mom who got, kicked out at 16 in the inner city of Chicago. One of the things that really, really brings our family together when we're dealing with a lot of stress is sitting down and having a meal together and breaking bread. And so that's the connection to the baking part of it. Actually, the name of my business came from me. I must have had like 150 ideas for the name of the business. But I remember something when I was young, when my peers or my family was at my mom's house, and we got done eating the whole spread, from our red beans and rices and our corn on the cobs and our collard greens, all that good stuff, all of our soul food. My mom would come downstairs and she would say, "Did you guys, leave room for dessert?" Or she would say, "Did you leave room for dessert, baby?" In her maternal, mom affectionate voice. And that resonated with me. So when I called her, I was like, "Mom, what did you used to say to us?" And when she said it, it just hit. So I just modified it and made it, bake room for dessert.
That's cool. So what's the business right now? What's talk to me about the business. Is it
as far as the business is concerned,
online, or is it just your actual physical store? Like what's tell me about it.
Right now, I had to just do it in stages because, like I said, I was, I'm working full time in property management and then trying to, just kind of put as much energy and finances from my bonuses and my income into it as I can. So in the beginning, I was running all over the place, man. I'm driving everywhere, trying to make every event, every gathering. I'm just driving everywhere, just trying to get everything established. And then I want to say in 2017, the industry kind of dried up. So I ended up having to remove myself from the industry. But at the same time, my mom had gotten a little ill too. So I ended up driving back to Chicago and making sure that she was good. So that put things on hold, which was a super duper blessing because I was able to share with her the whole idea and the whole vision and have her sit down and see everything. And then, so when I returned back, long story short, when I returned back, it's a whole different perspective on life and what I wanted to do. And there were whispers there about, "Aaron, why don't you get a storefront? Get a storefront." So I got a storefront. And I noticed that when I got that, life got a little easier, got much easier. So I wasn't ripping and running as often. Is somebody coming to get you? Uh-oh. I lost the audio. I couldn't hear you.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, sorry, go ahead, keep going. Can you hear me?
It's cutting in and out.
All right.
I heard you say sorry, and then it cut out again.
All right, hold on one second. Let me see here.
All right.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Okay. I don't know what's going on. All right. So you were last thing I heard you went to Chicago, your mom was sick, so I don't know where we cut off.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying once she got a little bit better, because she actually came back free of cancer. So once that all happened, it's time to get back in here and kind of hit the ground running where I started. So when I got back here, I ended up getting a storefront, and that was very, very helpful. And then from that point, the whispers are from my markets, from the events I've done. It's like, do you have a physical shop?
So
where can I find you?
Do you have a physical shop right now? Is that right?
Excuse me?
Oh, God, I don't know why you can't hear me.
I heard a question, but I couldn't make out the audio.
I don't know what's going on here. Can you hear me now or no?
I can hear you now.
All right. So do you have a physical shop right now?
I don't. So what I had to do was I had to be creative again. So again, my property that I'm at is in Phoenix, in downtown Phoenix. I ended up forming a partnership with one of our coffee shops just around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm done with my daytime job, I actually have the keys to their coffee shop. I can go there after hours and bake and do my thing.
Gotcha. Okay. So where do you sell them? Where do you sell your stuff? Is it like farmers markets and other markets?
Yeah, it's been a lot of word of mouth.
Yeah.
A lot of word of mouth. But here's the thing: in this industry, since I've been in it for 12 years, I have a lot of connections with other properties, other managers too. So I've done like taste testing parties. I've done some of their events too. And because they keep building and growing down here, and there's got to be about at least, what, 30,000 properties that's been here in the Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So there's connections there. So I've actually been used in my industry to promote best I can. And then, like you said, with the farmers markets, I did a big one in December for Christmas. That was a big market. But I do one every Thursday from 10 to 2. I was there yesterday morning doing a local market there. And that's where a lot of my writing is coming in, and a lot of my people connection are coming in too. And it was kind of funny. I was very, very humbled and shocked that I had a good day yesterday. I was featuring my banana pudding cream cheese pound cake. Mm-hmm. And I was getting kind of bummed because I always get a lot of business towards like the second half of the market. And somebody showed up, tried it. I had at least 9 or 10 slices left. And this gentleman took a sample and was like, you know what? Give me the whole thing.
Right.
So he wiped me out.
So I'm confused on what. So you don't have. So where are you selling this then right now? Where are you selling your cakes and desserts?
Right. Besides the market, the partnership I had with the coffee shop. I'm sorry. They sell for me there too. So I would take some of my desserts over there to them, and they would sell there.
Gotcha. Cool.
So that's another partnership. Yeah. Excuse me. I missed that question. I'm sorry.
No, so I don't know. The connection is so bad right now. What's the plan? What about online? What are you doing online? I see you have a website and all that. You sound
online. Online is picking up. Again, good question. Again, the timing that couldn't be better. But this month, there's going to be a really big philanthropic fundraiser event for raising money for college funds and the community. And this organization's been around for a long time here in Arizona. They partner with 3 other organizations to raise money. And my treats got invited to this event. So there's going to be 250 people there to raise a lot of money. And they ordered about 10 or 15 cakes for that event. So, and that came from just word of mouth. So my traction before I got my storefront was a whole lot of word of mouth. And then not to mention other things that I did before I even decided to do this. I've been in charities. I've played basketball in pros versus Joes before to raise money. I've dribbled basketballs to raise money. So there's other things that I've done that kind of led up to my confidence in starting my business, so that when I started my business, I wouldn't be trying to get a fan base. I kind of developed one before I did this. So when I ended up doing it, it just kind of was like, oh, so you've chosen this route, and so the support's been there. I wouldn't be able to wow you with numbers simply because of some of the setbacks that I've had with the Chicago illness and all that stuff.
Right, gotcha. So what's the plan? What are you trying to accomplish?
Man, I want to get a storefront. I want to really start taking this to the next level. Another thing that I really, really want to do with that is that I know my mom, when we were younger, had mentioned in kind of passing that she wanted to open up a restaurant, because she throws down. So I'll hold down the baking side, but she throws down everywhere else, including baking. But one of my visions, dreams, passions, goals, or whatever, and excuse me if my voice is cracking, but is to get her out of Chicago. I want her out of that house that she's been in forever. And I want her to see this and be a part of it. Because I don't know how long she's going to be around, but she did say she's wanting to retire this year. And I feel like what a better to see her out of the workforce is to be in the kitchen with me and us earth, wind, and firing it and dancing and doing it all over again. And just from there, I want to be able to, your dad had mentioned to me when our connection had lost, he stayed on the line and he had mentioned about, doing something as far as shipping. And so I took his advice. And from the partnership that I have with GoDaddy, they've partnered up with a company called Shippo. And Shippo, I don't know if you heard of Shippo, if you heard of I think it's called ShipStation or ShipNation. ShipStation. To where you can pretty much go online. Yeah, ShipStation. And you can go online, pretty much just get labels from online. They'll come in and get and pick up your stuff and ship it off. So at this point in time right now, I've done a shipping campaign where I've shipped to Chicago and just practice on how to package, practice to make sure that when they arrive, they're still chilled, they're not messed up. And so I just been practicing that. And he had asked me about shipping costs and how I can go about trying to get that number decent. And I put in my numbers last night again, and on a 9-pound box, the shipping was like $18.30, which is not bad going to Chicago. And that was a 1-day priority mail.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I hear what you want to do. So what's the plan? Like, what are you doing from here?
From here, I'm just trying to, again, I need the investment to, again, open up a shop, get equipment, get the licensing that I need to run shop. And I want to be able to at least to do both things. I want to be able to take in orders in the storefront and also be able to ship out. That's the main vision and plan as far as how to generate that kind of revenue and again, get you your money back.
So how much do you need to do that?
I'm sorry?
Oh, how much money do you need to do that? How much money do you need?
Oh, I think we're skipping out again.
How much money do you need to do that?
Oh, when I was doing my calculation, I was thinking 90,000 would help me pretty much walk away from my day job. Because what I've learned over my years is when I've done something full time, I've had success.
Mm-hmm.
And even coming back to this property I'm at right now, I've only been here under a year. And from the time I got here to right now, our property got property of the year in that short span of time. And they've never done that before.
That's cool. Okay.
Oh, I thought I lost you, but I lost your visual.
Oh, you can't see me right now?
I can hear you just fine.
Crap, I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah, but if you can still hear me.
Yeah, I could see in.
Yeah, so the funds would be to. Okay. So yeah, with the funds, I would want to pretty much walk away from my daytime and put all my energy and all my time and all my full-time effort into my business, because I know I'll be able to succeed just like I did for somebody else's business, putting it in full-time and helping them make money. I know if I did that and had full-time access to my business, there wouldn't be no stopping me. I would do whatever I needed to do to make sure that one, my customers are happy, but two, you're happy too because you invested in me. If you invest in me, you won't make a mistake.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. So, like, have you planned this all out? You got the plan, like, yeah. Have you ever been involved in this type of business before? I know you've been selling your cakes and all that, but do you have any experience in this or in the food service and retail and all that? I know you said you were in retail, but
retail, yes. The food service, not 100%, just studying and always checking out the trends and all that stuff. And then with the property management side of things, that's really helped me with just like the managerial side and the professional business side of things, as far as the bottom line, just trying to make sure that everything I need to get done is dotted and crossed, because that's really, really important. Because you can't really, in this business, you really can't mess up or miss one phone call. You really can't half step, because you can get shopped or mystery shops. So you're always having to be focused and concentrated on what you're doing. Because if you slip, that can mess things up. Just like with the baking stuff, one lack of focus, anything, and you can ruin a client, you can ruin an account just based on either laziness or complacency. You just can't do that. You just can't. So I have to always stay focused and stay driven and making sure that, people are followed up on. That's another big thing too, in this industry and in the baking world. Follow up is key. And one of the things I want to make sure that I do with my clients, and I probably won't be able to do it all the time, but check in on them and follow up to make sure that, their experience was good and that they're having a good quality product. I've learned that when you do that, they come back running. And they tell folks too, this world we live in now with social media, it's not like the I guess I wouldn't call them the good old days, but I was going to say the good old days, where I saw a lot of my peers selling CDs out of their trunk and selling things out of the trunk of their car. You don't have to do that no more now. You get a YouTube station now. You get, You go online now, go to social media, and get a following. You don't have to do too much of that legwork anymore like you did in the old days.
Okay, cool. So listen, this is what I like to see. I love to see. Yeah, I would initially say like this is not for us because we're just not like, opening a retail bake shop is not something that not the type of deal that we do. However, there is an aspect of creating your brand, building your brand to the point that that you have a following and you have great products and you're successful, and then expanding it out there, expanding on e-commerce, expanding on, like, for example, QVC does a lot of business with food. You got to get a lot of things situated before that, though. You have to understand what your manufacturing process is, the shipping process, the costs involved, and all that stuff. So there's a lot of things that you need to do, but so I'd like to see your plan. Like I'd love to see like here's like the staged approach. I'm going to open a store. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do on social media. This is what I'm going to do on the website. This is the shipping. This is manufacturing. All this. Let me see the plan. Let's talk about it because because the products do look good. I mean, by the way, one comment I had is like, the products look good, but your pictures on your site are terrible. So like, you need like better pictures to really show like, to.
If I had an investor, one of the first things I would do is get rid of those pictures. I don't like them either.
You need an investor to take good pictures, so that's
no. I know that. I know that. No, we're part of the whole.
Gotcha.
Like,
all right.
Like
so send me all that stuff. Send me all that stuff. Deanne or whoever.
Where can
whoever hooked you up on Pitch Investors Live could connect us. But my email is brian@kevinharrington.tv, and and I'll take a look at everything. All
right. Is there a place or an address perhaps that I could practice a shipping product for you? You can check it out.
Email me. We'll get that done.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
All right, man.
Okay.
Good
Sounds good.
All right.
Good to meet you too. I appreciate it. You have a good one. All right. Bye-bye.